Hi everyone, welcome back. I've got my December favourites for you today and I'm just going to get straight into it. Shortest intro ever. I've got two eyeshadow palettes. The first one I'm going to mention is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I'm sure this has been in the favourites before. I love this palette. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily know to look at it because I haven't really hit pan on any of the colours yet, any of the shades, but I just think this palette is absolutely beautiful, especially for this time of year. You've got some lovely sort of bronzy colours, you've got some purples, a gold, some great matte crease colours around here, some fantastic highlight shades, a lovely green there, a really dark colour up here, nice dark chocolatey brown. These two colours are not my favourite. This matte pink colour does come off quite sheer, and the colour next to it, there's nothing wrong with it, it just doesn't bring out my eyes very well because I have blue eyes, but I love all the other shades in this palette, and when I first got it I thought really glad to have it. Then I saw Makeup Revolution duped it and for a fraction of the price, so I was gutted. But I can't say that I'm too disappointed because it's the only Too Faced palette I own, and just a bit of a treasure really for me. So I've got the old style chunky packaging. I know they brought out a thinner packaging. I love it. Great for travel because it's a sturdy tin. So it's served me really well over the festive period. The other makeup palette I've used this month a lot is the Makeup Revolution's Neutrals versus Neutrals palette, which I thought would be more of like an autumn palette. But actually I've used it, like I say, in December a lot. A good sturdy mirror. It has names for all the shades, which I appreciate. It's got a good amount of mattes again in there, decent amount of mattes. These colours up here, the lovely sort of warm shades, I've just been really gravitating towards. And then this gold I've worn quite a lot. And this colour at the end I've worn, the shade I've used quite a lot. That's a beautiful highlight shade. So yeah, I just can't recommend that palette enough, especially for the price. I think it's about $7.99. But if you do get yours from Superdrug rather than the Makeup Revolution website as I did, then you'll probably get some sort of deal with it as well, you know, 3 for 2 they've got on all the time, etc. It comes with quite a decent brush as well, and it's a brush that I do use, hence why it's not in the palette, which is quite unusual for an eyeshadow palette to come with a brush that you would actually use, as opposed to those useless sponge tip applicators that nobody likes. Next, I just wanted to talk about some a hair care product, and that's R&B Hair Moisturiser. I actually use this more like a styling product than a leave-in moisturiser. It says that it brings back life to dry, dead hair and cools scalps that have been chemically treated. I certainly wouldn't put this on my scalp. It's very thick and very moisturising. It takes a lot for me to say that because I have very dry hair, and often I hear people say, oh, I only put it on the ends because otherwise my hair will get greasy. My hair never ever gets greasy because it produces next to no natural oils whatsoever. But yeah, this product I would not put on my scalp. It's like the only product that I can think of that I wouldn't actually put on my scalp. Even hair oils I put straight up to the root of my hair with no bother whatsoever. I must admit, I'm not in love with the smell. It's very sort of like a gardeny scent. It's not sort of, the way I can describe it is like dream cream. It doesn't smell like dream cream, but if you've tried dream cream and you know that the scent is gardeny, then you'll know what I mean by that. So when I get sort of frizzy bits in between washes, I know my hair's sort of getting dry, I like to use it for that reason. So it works really a lot better than sticking, for example, a load more product in, like more mousse and more product that's got hold in, when you don't necessarily want more hold, you just want a bit more definition to the curls. And sometimes I like to put a hair oil on in between washes as well, but there's only so much of that you can put in before your hair starts to look a bit sort of stringy. One thing I would say about this is it doesn't add a lot of shine, which I'm surprised about considering how moisturising it is. So if you want, for some reason, a matte look on your hair, or you don't want to use, or you use a lot of oil and you don't want to look like an oil slick, then definitely give this one a go. I just thought I'd demonstrate for you as I was chatting like how I would use it, and I do think it helps me to leave it longer in between washes, because rather than my hair getting greasy in between washes or oily, it actually goes more dry. So I shampoo it in order to be able to condition it, but this gives me that extra couple of days, which is something that all people with coloured hair would strive for, especially red coloured hair. The next product I'm going to mention is Lemony Flutter Cuticle Butter, again by Lush. I haven't been using it this past week, and you can tell because I'll show you where my polishes come off. I've deliberately not repainted them so I can show you. That's where my fingernails actually peeled, so everywhere that you don't see polish there is where it actually has taken a layer of nail off when it's peeled. This really massively helps with peeling nails, so if you do have peeling nails, give this a go. Rubbing it into your cuticles and your nails every night religiously, I think you'll see a benefit. I've seen a benefit anyway. In my opinion, this really works. I actually like to put it across my knuckles as well and then massage it in, and it makes my hands feel really soft. I honestly can't say which I prefer better. There's this, and there's a hand chemistry oil I've mentioned before, and it's been in a previous favourites. It's by the company Hand Chemistry, and it's a retinol oil. Both I really love. This is obviously a bit more natural. So yeah, you only need the tiniest bit. If you've got very severely dry hands, I think you should consider this as an actual hand cream, an all over hand cream at bedtime, because it is very moisturising. It says that head and shoulders, knees and toes, and don't forget the cuticles, a super thick lemony cream chock full of rich ingredients to help you get grips with dry bits. So yeah, it does that. Yeah, I would say that was a fair and accurate representation of the product. My next favourite is a candle. I'm not just saying this because I've bought one candle and I really am enjoying it. This is a favourite because actually I bought a ridiculous amount of candles recently, and I have tried to try them all, and this was actually one of the cheapest of them all, and yet it's the strongest scented. So for December, you can't tell because I've tried to be sparing with it because I really love it, but this has been my favourite. It's Yankee Candle Simply Home Savour the Season. I think the reason this one looks like this as opposed to this one that's all the way down here is not necessarily because I preferred this one. This one, you don't need very much of it. After a couple of minutes, the room you're in is fully scented and you can actually blow it out. I would leave something like this on, which is Christmas Cookie, all day. Like I would leave that all day. But this one, you wouldn't need to do that, and it smells so much stronger. So my favourite this month has definitely been Savour the Season. I've got to give a big shout out this month to DW Red Cherry Lashes. These are my favourite type of lashes. Unlike the candles, I can't say that I've tried a huge amount of lashes, so it's not like I've tried them all and these are the best. These are just the ones I always gravitate towards, and in a definitely humble opinion, because like I say, I haven't tried a huge amount of lashes, but DW lashes are just perfect for me. They're lovely and fluttery, they've got a nice curve to them because my eyelash is naturally curly and I really need that. They do taper in slightly in the inner corner and flare out at the outer corner. Not too thick, not too heavy, a nice thin band. I just really love them. I actually wore these on my wedding day. That's how much I love these lashes. I've really enjoyed my Makeup Revolution advent calendar this month. I have a video on it which I'll link in the description bar for you, and I've not tried all the products in it, but I have tried a handful or two of them, and the two standouts for me actually both happen to be nail polishes. I had a red one and a nude one. I'm wearing the nude one today. I absolutely love this formula. They can't be very expensive full size because it's Makeup Revolution, and I hope that their nail polishes or varnishes in their full size are the same formula. I haven't tried any of those yet, but the formula I've had in this advent calendar I've really loved. Opaque in one coat, doesn't take a ridiculous amount to dry, not too thick, not too thin. I expected, when this one went on, I thought, well, it's a red. I mean, reds tend to be opaque, but I wasn't expecting a lot from the nude colour. The nuder you go, the more sort of streaky it tends to be, especially the ones that look like they have a white base to them. This was not streaky or patchy at all. I really enjoyed them. I don't know if I just got really good ones, I don't know, but I'm definitely, when I'm in the market for some nail polishes, I'm definitely going to try some from Makeup Revolution. I've discounted them. I never would have thought to try that brand, but now I definitely am going to. Two other nail polishes I've been enjoying this month is Asta Quick and Go 45 Seconds, and this shade is 365, so it's this gorgeous deep dark purple, burgundy purple-y shade, so love that shade. And then a classic, which is 270 in Revlon, Cherries in the Snow. I know this lipstick is a bit of a cult classic, and I think this has been in her favourites before, because now I'm talking about it, I've got a feeling like somebody said to me before that they didn't realise that Revlon did this in a polished shade, but they have it in the lipstick form. So I'm massively into painting my nails this month, and I've got to say these two are favourites as well as the Makeup Revolution ones. I've got a few more makeup bits to go for you. I have the Manna Kadar, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Beauty Simplified Conditioning Lash Primer. I've been using this when I'm not wearing false lashes underneath my mascara, and it has been helping me to use mascaras which I'd usually throw away because I'm not quite getting the separation. I've been getting them to last a bit longer with this primer. I really love as well Lancome Hypnose mascara. I only have a sample, but this mascara could very well be the best mascara I've ever tried. I don't like them in conjunction with each other, to be honest, these two, because this is good enough to use on its own. I've got the primer on today, but I've got a different mascara. I actually prefer the look of this mascara with 2 or 3 coats on its own, as opposed to 1 or 2 coats over the top of this primer, but both of these have been favourites this month. I've got 2 lipsticks to show you, and they're both from Makeup Revolution, and they're both from their sort of pro range. I think they're Iconic Pro Lipsticks, or of some sort. They're the ones shaped in this sort of bullet form. Packaging very reminiscent of MAC, other than the fact it's shiny, and obviously you can tell the feel of it is a completely different price point. They're actually very similar colours. I have Propaganda, which is a matte, and I'll just show them next to each other, and also Jewel, which is again a matte. One of these, and I can't remember the life of me which one, is a dupe for MAC's Russian Red, and I think it might be the Jewel colour, because the Propaganda colour is ever so slightly more brown in it, just a touch more brown. But obviously a matte red lip is a must over the festive season, so both of these lipsticks have been a favourite. Moving on to lifestyle favourites, I've got to mention my Filofax. I'm not just mentioning this because I've got new 2016 pages in it from Paperchase, but actually I've been accidentally not mentioning this the last 2 monthly favourites, and been meaning to, so it's actually been on my list, and I'm so glad I'm actually finally remembering to mention it. So I really love this Filofax. It says Filofax Swift inside it. I'm not sure if that helps to show what type it is. It has like a bird cage design, and it's like a lovely sort of green colour, and the little birds are orange, and you have an elastic that clips onto a button to keep everything secure. So yeah, I mean, it's not the most practical, especially in a handbag for a makeup lover. There are a few blemishes on it. I probably should have picked one that you can wipe clean. I also have a 3-year-old, so it probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, but I've had this a few years now, and it still looks new, and I'm still really happy with it. So I have had a look in Paperchase the past couple of years to have a nosy at the types of planners, organisers, Filofaxes that they have, and I've not had any of them take my eye. So I'm really glad that I got this one, and it's been a favourite all month. It has helped me to be organised, and this past year I've actually missed 3 occasions that I RSVP'd to and then didn't turn up just because of simply forgetting, and I'm not gonna let that happen to me this year. And the last favourite is another lifestyle favourite, and that's keeping hydrated. I've been making a massive effort end of November and December, especially because there's usually a lot of drinking alcohol over the festive season, to try and keep hydrated, and I have noticed the benefits. I don't like drinking plain water anymore. I used to, but now I just like to drink quite a weak squash. So Robinson's is my favourite. I have tried a few different ones, and I actually prefer the one that's got mango and orange, the barley version, over this plain orange juice one. And yeah, I know it seems like a bit of an obvious thing, because especially with YouTube and health related videos and people that love beauty and health, they'll sort of mention staying hydrated, but honestly that's something that I've not been taking seriously for a long time, and I think I am going to up my water liquid intake, non-caffeinated, she says with a cup of coffee, non-caffeinated liquid intake this year, and I've really been making an effort to do that and enjoying the effects of that in December. For my fails this month, and I do have some because I don't always have some, I've got to mention the Lush Popcorn Lip Scrub. It's nowhere near as scrubby, the grains, as the bubblegum one, and it tastes disgusting in my opinion. I love the bubblegum one. It's really, I'm a big fan of the bubblegum lip scrub by Lush, but I bought both of them at the same time thinking it would be nice to have a difference in flavour and scent, but I haven't actually tried this one until this month, and I don't know how I'm going to get through it. I don't know if it's too bad for me to use. I've just the other one, when you get it in your mouth, it tastes so sweet and like bubblegum. This just tastes nasty. I really expected this to be the favourite of the two because it says it has a buttery caramel taste. I don't know what buttery caramel things they've been having at Lush, but that is not nice. The other thing I'm disappointed about is Clinique Smart Custom Repair Eye Treatment. It's like a serum eye cream, and it was really expensive. I think full price this is £38. I'm quite happy with my L'Oreal Revitalift eye, so I don't know why I bought this. I had a voucher to spend and I just couldn't think what to spend it on, and it had a deadline. In the end I just picked this up. I got a good deal on it because I got £10 off with my voucher and I got 15% as well, so I only spent I think about £22 on it, which is still over double what I would spend on my Revitalift eye, and it's not any better. If I'd paid £38 for it, I'd have been really gutted. It's okay, it's not bad, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a fail because it's very overpriced, and I just wouldn't recommend spending your money on it. The next fail I've got is this Makeup Academy Pro Base Matte Satin Pressed Powder. I bought this off a recommendation from a friend of mine and I really hate it. She loves it. I think her skin might be drier than mine though, so bear that in mind. I have normal skin. It's just, when it says matte satin, it's basically shimmer. It has shimmer in it. The packaging, you don't expect it to be much for the price point, but it hasn't been dropped, it hasn't been manhandled, and it has literally just broken just from me using the mechanism it was supposed to be designed to withstand, which is opening and shutting the top. And I could see it was starting to go, so I tried to be a bit more gentle, and yet I still didn't manage to stop it breaking. I got mine in ivory, I think. They do have colours to them. I can't see the colour on here to be honest, but I'm pretty sure mine was ivory. It's the lightest shade. I have hit pan, so I have given it a pretty good try. I don't know if you can see the shimmer. I'm going to try and move it just to see if you can shimmer. It has straight up shimmer in this powder, which isn't the reason I dislike it, because I actually thought I'd like that about it, but it does mean that you have to use then a separate powder to set your under eyes if you know that's going to be unflattering for you. But this just doesn't actually set my makeup at all. Like no matter what foundation I use it over the top of, I get crease lines around my nose, around my smile lines, under my eyes. Even when I try and avoid it near my eyes and use a different powder to set under my eyes, it's not flattering on the skin, and it's not much cheaper than, for example, the Rimmel Stay Matte powder, which worn over the top of a dewy foundation, or a foundation that's gone on the top of something like L'Oreal Lumi Magique primer, would give you just as nice of effect as this if you're looking for that sort of radiant glow. It just doesn't do it for me. I'm going to stop there because it just all sound like I'm whinging on and on, but I do not like that powder. And the last item I'm going to show you as a fail is this Yankee Candle Christmas Cookie Candle. I have nearly completely used it up, because you could leave this bad boy on in a room all day long, from the moment you get up to the moment you go to bed, and you still will barely smell it. I think that they rely on the sale of this candle for the fact that it has the word Christmas in it, so people would buy this as a Christmas gift, or thinking, right, it's going to be really something special for Christmas. But this is not a strong scent. You expect for the price to get something that's going to fill the room. I was disappointed by this. I love the scent, there's just not enough of it. So I won't carry on harking on about that, but I'll just leave it there. I was disappointed, and I won't be repurchasing this one for next Christmas. And the last unfavourite is a bit of a lifestyle favourite. On the flip side, when I said that I've been saying More Hydrated as a favourite, I've also been, unfortunately, due to the partying season, sleeping in my makeup. I think I've done that about 3 or 4 times over the month. Gone to sleep without taking my makeup off. Massive unfavourite. I'm really going to try and snap myself straight out of that and nip it right in the bud, because it's no good for your skin, and it really hasn't done me any favours. So that's a bit of a common sensey obvious one. I don't think anybody wants to sleep in their makeup. But yes, I think I'm going to be making an effort, even if I do any more partying in the future, to at least, you know, take a facial cleansing cloth and take most of it off before hitting the sack. That's everything. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know in the comments what you've been enjoying for December, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Happy New Year.